This is The Confidence Show with Mr. Locario and Miles Cunningham. In The Confidence Show, we're talking about confidence, happiness, success, purpose, and achieving your goals. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. And remember, the truth is inside you. Yeah. What up? What's good? You have tuned into The Confidence Show with Mr. Locario and Miles Cunningham. Miles, what's going on, bro?
Man, I'm just out here being confident, doing my thing, rocking my baldy, you feel me? And being super straight.
Exactly. Facts. Real talk, man. I'm so down with it. I'm so down with it. That shit made me smile today. I'm like, yes, I'm down. Where do I sign up? Shit. Like, where do I promote this shit, man? This shit needs to be everywhere. You feel what I'm saying?
Facts.
I'm like, Jesus Christ. But yeah, man. But today, guys, we're going to be talking about, this is a good topic because I think this is something that, is important to understand. We're talking about the difference between hating and criticizing, right? The difference between hating and criticizing. And I think this is a very important topic because there's a lot of people that get the two confused, right? There are times when you're criticizing and people they think you're hating, you know what I'm saying? And, there are times that you hate and, that's just what it is. It's like, but people want to act like it's something else. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
But what I would say this is what I look at it as, because I look at it as hating is more about personal attacks that don't really have anything to do with nothing. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Criticizing is when you're actually, critiquing or assessing a topic, an idea, a circumstance, you know what I'm saying? So you're just sort of evaluating a situation or something to that effect. You understand? Right. The problem is, though, is that when you critique something or someone or some type of art or some type of, thing, whoever is personally involved in that thing or, situation, right? Usually what'll happen is that those people will take it personally. You understand what I'm saying? So if, let's say, for example, a simple example is, let's say, somebody that is an artist and they drew a picture. And you say that, I don't really think that color in that picture, goes well with the other colors. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Then they might say, well, why you hating? Why you hating on that person? You know what I'm saying? But you're just criticizing the picture.
Right.
Right. But because people take it personally, shout out to everybody in the chat, because people take it personally, right? Then what happens is that people think that you're actually hating on them. You see what I'm saying? And then this is the problem with that, is that because you can't really criticize or, without people thinking it's hating, what happens is that things can't get better or you can't learn anything new, because if people stopped criticizing or giving that critique, how are you going to grow? You understand what I'm saying? How are you going to get better at certain things? How are things going to flow in a direction that's going to, make it more beneficial to you? You see what I'm saying? So you got to understand the difference between hating and critiquing. You understand what I'm saying? Because critiquing is like I said, you saying to the artist, I think that color over there will go better with that other color. That's critiquing. Hating is if you said, that artist is an asshole, fuck that nigga. You understand what I'm saying? That's hating. You see what I mean? So it's two different things. But Ma, what's your thoughts on that, man?
Well, so I looked it up on Google. So it says criticism can be positive or negative, but it says hatred is only negative. You see what I'm saying? Hatred is only negative. And see, the reason why so many people take all criticism as hate is because of their own insecurities.
Right.
You understand? It's because and we talk about this in different ways from time to time, because we talk about understanding where you are and where you're trying to be, and like we did that other live stream the other day about understanding what type of advice you really need. You know what I'm saying? And criticism can come under the umbrella of advice. But what happens with a lot of people is that because they feel like insecure about where they are in life,
Right.
when you start to tell them things and give them, information about how they can do better, it upsets them.
Right.
You understand? Because a lot of people, what happens is they rest on they do what they call resting on their laurels, meaning they worked a certain amount, they worked real hard to get to where they're at right now, or they feel that way. Even if they didn't, that's how they feel. They be like, yo, I did all this shit. I did everything that I needed to do, and now I made it here. And then you want to criticize what I've done,
right?
And it's like, yeah, I'm giving you information on how you could get better. No, you just hating. And here's the real reason why they consider it to be hate is because even though you did all that work you did to get here, and I'm giving you more information, the information I'm giving you means that you got to get back to work.
Right, exactly.
You understand? Whether it's negative or positive or whatever, the fact is that, okay, yeah, cool. You've gotten to this point and you've produced this outcome.
Right.
But now I'm sitting here telling you, yeah, but you could do better.
Right.
You understand? And here's how you can do better. You can take off that shirt, burn that shit, and you be like, damn, son, you don't like my shirt? You hating. Be like, hold on, burn the shirt. But here's what you do. You get a new shirt. You know what I'm saying? You put on that, and then you make sure it's a button down, and you tuck it in your pants, and then you blah, 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 blah. You understand what I'm saying? But now it's like all the shit that I've done so far it's like because people, when people have an insecure mindset, they feel like if you're telling me to do anything extra, that you're shitting on all the work that I've done so far.
Right, exactly.
And I understand why people would feel that way, but it's not the most efficient way to take criticism or advice. And it's not that I'm shitting on the work that you've done. And the truth of the matter is, I don't give a fuck about the work that you've done.
Right.
That's the truth of it. Like that's the real part of the situation. Because here's how it is. Everybody has their own journey. Everybody has a certain amount of work they got to do.
Right.
Now, you did some work and you produced some type of product and you're showing it to me and asking me my fucking opinion, right?
Right.
All I could do is be honest and give you my opinion. And I say, well, so you all of these years, this is the iPhone you came out with? You know what? That shit is whack. Take that shit off, make the screen bigger, make a flip phone and do this and do that. And Steve Jobs is sitting there looking at you like, damn, nigga, this is all the work I've done up to this point. And now you telling me I got to make it turn into a flip screen. And it's like, yeah, I don't give a fuck about all the work you've done so far. You asked me my opinion about the shit.
Right.
I'm letting you know. And if you got to go back and do more work, then so be it.
Right.
Stop being a bitch. It ain't necessarily hate. It's information for you to get better. Now, how you gonna take it? Right. How you gonna take it? You gonna take it like a punk, like a negative person, like a person with a scarcity mindset? Because here's the thing, and here's the reason why I said scarcity mindset. Some people look at the work they've already done and they feel like it already took so much out of them, and they don't know where they can look within themselves to find more energy to do more work.
Exactly. They're like, what else can I do?
Yeah, they literally feel like, well, this is the greatest. This is the best I can do. Right. Man, fuck that. You need to turn it into a flip phone. You need to make the thumb thing. You need to make it recognize my face, and you need to do this and you need to do that. You need to make it recognize my face with a mask on because now we in the pandemic and something. Right. So all that work I did means nothing. It's like, nah, not that it. See, and here's the thing. When you're a positive minded person, you don't even think about it like that. Right. Because if I was shitting on the work that you've done thus far, what would I have to criticize? Exactly. Right. Do you understand? Exactly. When you understand things in a positive perspective, you don't have time to have that type of negative thought and say, oh, well, what are you saying? The work that I've done this far means nothing. No, I'm not saying that because I am acknowledging the work that you've done thus far by criticizing you. Exactly. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. I'm actually, if you're really, really thinking about it in an objective, positive manner, you will realize that just the fact that I am taking the time to criticize your shit means that I am acknowledging the work that you've done, that you've done thus far.
Right.
And that's where that's where it stands. The thing is that people do work and they want to continue getting praise for work. And it's like, oh, iPhone 10? Great.
Right.
Now, what you gonna do about the iPhone 7? Well, damn, nigga.
Right.
Work, and I came up with the iPhone 10. Now you ask me about some iPhone 11. Well, damn.
Like, why you hating on me, son?
Why you hating? Ask me about some damn iPhone 11. No, I appreciate the fact that you did the iPhone 10. But hey, time only moves forward. You know, shit only gets better. So if you basically it's like this: if you're getting into any type of situation where work and progress is involved, you can't have that type of mentality.
Right.
You understand? You have to always know that there's always going to be a next thing. Can't sit, and that's what happens to people in a lot of relationships and in a lot of different ways. Like even at your job, like you act, damn, I ain't getting no raise. That's because after a while you started doing just enough at your job, and your bosses and managers realize that shit.
Right.
Oh, and even with entrepreneurs, somewhere along the way, you realize that you're just doing enough to get the amount of money that you're making right now. So you never made any more money.
Facts.
You understand? Because Lucario, don't me and you call each other all the time?
Right.
And all we do is talk about and we brainstorm and try to, how can we
get this shit popping even more? You know what I'm saying?
More.
Right.
Niggas is doing mad live streams and how can we do this? Well, maybe if we put this on the Patreon, all right. Maybe if we get donations, okay. Maybe if we put this on the Bad Boy membership, maybe if we, you know what? Maybe we should do a documentary, bro, like a whole movie.
And we criticizing ourselves. You feel what I'm saying? Like
exactly, because we looking at ourselves like shit, man. What y'all doing? Hey, look, I'm glad you got this far, buddy.
Right.
We need more.
Right.
We need more, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's not shitting on anything we've done because everything we've done brought us to this point.
Right. Exactly.
So the praise is automatic. It's built in.
Right.
You understand? It's built in. But criticism, whether it's negative or positive, you can pick and choose. You can take messages out of it.
Right.
That'll help you get better. But when you sit there and call it hate, you don't get better because now you're just sitting there thinking about your ego and worried about your foolish pride and, oh my God, you're hating on me. Oh my God.
Right.
And it's like, nah, but you're missing the whole thing. It reminds me of that movie clip with Bruce Lee where he was pointing at the stars.
Right.
Showing his pupil something in the night sky, and he was pointing at the stars, and the pupil, his student, was looking at his hand. And then he smacked his pupil in the head and was like, "Don't stare at my hand. If you stare at my hand, you'll miss the heavenly beauty." Right. Exactly. You see what I'm saying? And that's the thing with people. It's like any kind of and like I said, any kind of criticism, negative or positive. If you look at it objectively, it can be used as information to make you better. Right. That's why I always look, because I look at all criticism as positive, because anytime, because this is funny. Whenever I get a person, like I'll get randomly, people might send me a video of someone like talking about me, right? Like, so in supposedly like hating, right? So I'm always hoping that because usually I don't even like look at the videos, like that. But if I click on the video, I'm hoping and praying that it's a critique. You understand? Instead of hate. Because I'm like, maybe they can say something that can help me out. You feel what I'm saying? Right. Or even hoping that it's a critique and not just a, hey, good job. Right. Hold on, I gotta go get my food. You keep talking. Go ahead. Right. So to add to what Lucario was saying, like you're hoping that it's not it's a critique and not just this nigga, and not just a good job or just blatant hate, like a personal attack. You're hoping that it's a critique because the information involved, like for example, the other night we had a guy call in on a live stream, and he was saying that he feels that because you remember the guy that called in the other day and told us that he feels like the placement of the Game Kings documentary commercial in our videos.
Oh, right, yeah. Right.
Remember, he said, he was telling us, he was saying that he feels like we should try to actually work it into the conversation. And when we mention it in the middle of the video, drop the ad right there in the middle of the video to make it actually work with the cognitive, functions of the audience and so on and so forth. And we could, if we was dumb niggas, we could have been like, yo, man, fuck out of here. How you gonna call up our show and try to tell us how to do our videos? And man, fuck you. Who the fuck do you think you are, man? Why you hating?
Right.
Oh, now we listened to that brother, and we was like, nah, you know what? You actually have a point.
Right. That could be an idea. That could be something that we could implement that could help us get to the next level. You know
exactly. You know what I'm saying? We looking at it like, okay, yeah, well, you know what? Maybe you have a point. Maybe if we work it into the conversation, drop the commercial right in the middle of the content, it might be a little bit more effective. And that's just facts. That's not hating. That's not, that's straight facts. You understand? Or at least his perspective and something that we can actually implement and try to see if it makes more sense. You understand? And that's what you're looking for. It's like because a lot of times you'll be in a conversation with somebody, or you'll start a debate. Now, the debate will start off on topic, and saying you'll be like, well, for example, let's pick one, right? The more women, the more partners that a woman has, it makes her harder to pair bond. And then, Lucario with his ass, he'll come in and be like, nah, that's not true because blah, blah, blah. And it doesn't matter how many niggas a bitch is done fucked, she could pair bond or she could not. It depends on her nature, it depends on her personality and whatever. He's like, nah, Lucario, women have trouble pair bonding because the studies show. But once that nigga says, Lucario, shut the fuck up, you stupid.
Right, exactly. Then it's we on some hating shit. You feel what I'm saying?
It's hate.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That nigga Lucario is a dumbass nigga, man. Fuck that nigga, man.
Right.
Hate.
Exactly.
Now we're not talking about pair bonding anymore. We're talking about Mr. Lucario and what a fuck boy he is and what a dumbass he is. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? It's not on the topic no more. You feel me?
Right.
Because look, if a person wanted to say, well, Lucario, you're a little bit different because you got a wife and you got a girlfriend. So I don't even know if you even understand what we're talking about, and you don't really have a decent perspective on what I'm saying because pair bonding is this and and monogamous relationships work this way and so on and so on. If you want to do that, that's criticism.
Exactly.
That's information that can be actually dissected.
Exactly.
So we can say, okay, let's explore that. Lucario has a wife, Lucario has a girlfriend, blah, 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 blah. Let's talk about that. But once you say, yo, I bet you Lucario's, wife be doing this and fuck her. She doing it. And fuck Lucario.
That's what I'm saying. And that's
you see what I'm saying?
And that's different. And also, you know what it is? This is the thing. When the reason why people take criticism as hate,
right?
Because people are so attached to whatever their ideas are or their project is or their art or whatever it is. They're so attached to their thing.
Right.
If you criticize it, they think you're attacking them as a person.
Exactly.
You know so because they're so tied into their art or their project or their idea, and if you disagree with it or you criticize it, essentially what it is that they think that you're criticized, that you're hating on them. You understand what I'm saying? Pretty much. So if I say to that person, hey, I think that photo that you took or that picture you made would actually look better if you did this because right now it's not looking too good. They think that I'm hating on them because they're so tied to their art.
Yeah.
But to see, the thing is, this is the key though. This is what people got to understand, is that you have to separate yourself personally from the art, from the idea, from the situation, from the circumstance, so that you can actually see what the critique is about and see if you can learn and grow from that critique. Because as soon as you put yourself into it, then you ain't trying to hear nobody. It's just like you ever have a dude who, like a dude, you know, that's like a musician or something like that, and you try to tell them about the song, and you be like, yo, if you'd have did the hook this way, they're like, nah, bro, but you don't want to understand. You don't understand. It's supposed to sound like, and it's like they get mad, like offended, or like they get all touchy about the shit. You understand what I'm saying? Right. And that's because they're way too attached to the actual song or project or whatever. Right. You know what I'm saying? And so it's hard to give people like that criticism, because they always take it as a personal attack, and therefore they take it as hate. Right. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, that's crazy.
See, here's the thing, man. We I think in general we have to have the confidence to, like you said, Lucario, separate ourselves from our production or from our art in a sort of way, in some way, especially in the way that it emotionally ties you to the art or to the manifestation that makes you insecure about it.
Right.
You understand? Because a lot of people, when they produce things, it's like, yo, that's my baby. You know, exactly. It's a part of me. And it's true. As an artist, yes, it's cool to believe that. But after you make it, it's its own thing as well.
Right.
You understand? You have to be willing to deal with that. Just like when you know how parents feel a certain way when it's the first day of school?
Right.
It's like, oh my God, I'm separating from my baby. My baby's going out into the world. Or even when the child is moving away from home and going to college.
Right.
That whole feeling of them going out into the world. And it's like, oh my God, you're my baby and you're my son, you're my daughter. And it's like, nah, well, you've done everything you could do, but now they have to go and experience the world for themselves now. They're a part of you. They have their DNA and everything. Right. So they are literally a part of you. You understand? But now you have to let them go. And let people gonna criticize them.
Right.
People gonna hate on them too.
Right.
People attack them personally and all that shit. And then they're gonna create manifestations of their creativity, and they're gonna probably have kids and all of that shit. And the cycle goes on. But we have to learn how to separate ourselves. Have the confidence to separate ourselves from our, manifestations, from the things that we give birth to. You understand? Because a lot of times being too connected to something, especially emotionally, brings a lot of stagnation. You understand? It brings a whole lot of stagnation. So you have to be able to separate it just a little bit, just enough so you can take the information from the critique to make your next manifestation even better.
Right.
And because, hey, if you're an artist, the song has already been made. You already pressed up the CDs and released the album. Okay. But if I'm telling you, yo, you could have done the hook this way.
Right.
Don't be mad at what I'm saying about that song. You already made it. It's like I said, it's separate. You separated it from yourself. Now, instead of attaching that emotional, distress of hearing criticism of your art, no, just take the information objectively and say, he has an idea. Maybe I could do the hook like that for my next album or for my next song.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe I could try that out the next time I'm in the studio and see what it does. Maybe it might end up making my voice sound even better. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I could tell the engineer to put some effects and do and da-da-da-da and try some shit. And sometimes we have to understand too that criticism itself is not finite. You understand? A lot of times when somebody criticizes something, the information from the criticism itself can lead to a whole new, it can end up being a whole new thing.
Right.
You understand? It could end up being a whole, for example, I have anybody right now, Vice just released a video about how the Thong Song was made. You understand? And Tim and Bob was the ones that produced the original beat, and they used a violin sample from an old Beatles song.
Right.
Cisco came in and took the beat pretty much the way it was, but then he took the beat to this live violinist guy, and made him replay all the parts and added some extra notes and some extra improvisation, and you know what I'm saying, and made the song what it was. Now Tim and Bob, because they produced the song, they were saying that initially they didn't like what they heard when the violinist did his thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They said they just wanted to keep it with the original sample that they cut from the record and stuff. You understand?
Right.
But then they said later on, after Sisqó put down the vocal arrangements and put it all together, and then they heard the song when it was all done.
Right.
It was like, yo, this shit is fire. Like, this is about to be a hit.
Right.
And now they're so happy that they were a part of that project or a part of that song in general.
Right.
You understand? And so what I'm saying is, it's like you can when you look at criticism in that negative sort of way, it can limit your perspective.
Right.
Because you're looking at the criticism for just the words saying, oh, well, this is not good enough and that's not good. And they're not really saying that, but they're saying something that can give you an idea that can lead you to a whole nother idea.
Right.
You understand? So when you have the chance to actually take the information and value what they're saying, that shit could actually help you to go to a whole nother level. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's the power of understanding the difference between hate and criticism, and being able to have the confidence to say, well, that critique was harsh, but you know what? I'm going to listen. I'm going to listen for the important information that could possibly help me to become a better artist, or to become a better person, or to become more evolved. So when I put out my next manifestation, it encompasses even more stuff, because you got to remember, we also do things so we can learn from them.
Right.
You understand? That's why we do and experience and we live every day, because we want to learn new things. You understand? And a lot of times the things that we learn come through criticism. It come through somebody telling you, I don't like that shit. And then you say, why you don't like it? Well, it's too loud, or I don't like that color, or you know what I'm saying? And if sometimes you can hear 10 people say the same exact thing.
Right. And then it's like, yes, now I know what it is.
I know exactly what I'm going to do next time.
Right. And
then when you come out with that next issue of whatever it is you do, and then you find out that more and more people like it, and then you start to actually make progress with your shit. You understand? But when you sit there and get all butthurt about somebody not liking your shit,
right,
and the only thing you can focus on is somebody not liking your shit, you're staring at the hand and you miss all the heavenly glory.
Right. Exactly. Facts. Now that's real shit. And the last thing I'll say real quick too is, do you think there is a way to where something could be criticism and hate at the same time? I don't think it can. I don't think it exists. I think if you're actually criticizing and it's an actual critique,
right,
it can't be hate. You understand what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, as bad as it sounds, it can be hate.
Right. Because if you're actually criticizing, basically, and you're talking about the thing, you feel what I'm saying? Then I'm not even talking about the person. The person has nothing to do with the thing I'm talking about, or the idea, or the project, or the situation. You understand what I'm saying? So I think a lot of times what happens is that people they take critiques and they try to find the quote unquote hate in it. You feel what I'm saying? Because Abel said backhanded compliments could probably be one of the ways. But I think also too, with backhanded compliments, I don't even think that's necessarily critique. That's just more so like purposely trying to hate. I think that's it's hidden. It's hidden hate. Hidden hate. Yes, that's what backhanded compliments are.
That's not real criticism. That's just trying to disguise a hateful statement.
Right. Like that's right. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So I think the main thing at the end of the day is when you're assessing this, you say, hey, listen, what is? Hold on, we got a troll up in here. We got to get this dude out of here.
Get him out of there. Get him out.
This dude out of here. Anyway, yeah. So basically, you got to assess. Okay, is it hate or is it criticism? So whenever you're hearing anything, you say to yourself, is what this person saying hate, or is what this person saying criticism? You understand what I'm saying? And then assess that to see what's really going on. You see what I'm, so
Right.
don't take criticism, you know, as hate, and then also don't hate on people and then think you're just like, oh well, I'm just criticizing. No, you're hating. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta understand the difference. You know what I mean? You gotta understand the difference, man.
That's why there's a thumbs up and a thumbs down button.
Right. Back.
Hey, you know what else I want to point out too? I want to say that you know, always consider getting multiple opinions.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Because sometimes when you're dealing with like just one person that might be too close to the situation,
right,
a lot of things can get misconstrued. You understand? Because again, when somebody's close to you, a lot of times, like for example, people talk about like projecting fears on other people. A lot of times when your family is close to you, they always fear for your failure. They fear that you might fail.
Right.
They will critique you based on that premise.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So they'll literally try to tell you to not do what you're trying to do.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like for example, the other day I let my mom watch a clip from a live stream. Mm-hmm. That first encounter with Triple Black.
Right.
I let my mom watch that shit, and she was like, "Oh my god, Richie." Richie's my my family nickname. She's like, "Oh my god, Richie, why you gotta talk to him like that? you cut deep with that one. Oh my god, he was probably so hurt. I don't think you should do it. Yeah, I don't think you should do it like that. I don't think you shouldn't run your show like that. That's so bad."
Right.
Like,
right.
There's a lot you don't know about this market. There's a lot you don't know. You probably need to watch a few more shows. That was just one clip. You know what I'm saying? So, like when somebody is really close to you, you have to be aware. Try to be aware of their perspective and how close they are to you, because fear becomes a factor, and that'll fuck with your confidence.
Right.
You understand? Like even Jay-Z, he always had that line in his song that his uncle said he'll never sell 1 million records. You understand? And he realized that his uncle was telling him that because his uncle couldn't see it. And his uncle was projecting his fears onto him because he was like, man, I don't want my nephew to fail. So let me not encourage this shit. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Exactly.
So, yeah. So that's another thing you got to be careful with. Like people who are very close to you, take their criticism and even their adulation, even their compliments, just take it with a grain of salt. Because remember, these are people who already they like you, they love you, they're close to you. Understand? So sometimes again, they can try to project their fears onto you,
right,
within their criticism, or they can be on some yes man shit and tell you, you know what I'm saying, tell you that you're doing a great job and never even give you any critical information that can help you advance your shit. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So you know, that's another thing. Because you have some people out there, some artist type people who they only want to ask their friends and family about about their opinion.
Right.
And because they're actually afraid to find out what a stranger might think.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? They're afraid to actually ask a person who doesn't give a fuck about them. Yo, what do you think of this thing that I did?
Right.
They'd be like, who, me? Yeah, you. What do you know? Tell me your honest opinion.
Right.
That shit sucks, bro.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, oh my God, he said my shit sucks. I need to go ask my mom what she thinks. I'm sure she'll tell me it's good. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta be careful. You gotta have a certain level of confidence to deal with all of it. You understand? Mm-hmm. You gotta be able to deal with all of it. You gotta realize that when you put things out into the world, it's gonna come with criticism and it's gonna come with some praise. And it's up to you to really be objective, be confident, be sensible, have a balanced mind, have an abundance mindset to realize that all criticism can be used to help you go further and do better. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Facts. So guys, listen, that's pretty much it. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Make sure that you guys go to patreon.com/The Confidence Show to watch all the other Confidence Show episodes and tell you the game is always heavy. So make sure you guys check that out. Also, make sure you guys go to badboymembership.com, join the Bad Boy membership. Make sure you check out the Game Kings documentary. Follow us on Instagram at Real Mr. Locario. Follow Miles in the Game at Miles in the Game on Instagram. And yeah, man, that's pretty much it. Anything else you want to say, Miles, before we get up out of here?
Yo, shout out to the Super Straight movement.
Facts. Real talk. Facts.
We're super straight out here.
Facts. Real fucking talk.
And for those who don't know what that is, go look it up because I don't want you to hear it from me. I want you to go check out the movement. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Facts. All right. All right, people. We out of here. We holler at y'all later. Remember, the truth is inside you. Peace.